We are en route to Manotak Lodge, which is located in Sunset Country of Ontario. And Manotak Lodge is located on the shore of Perrault Lake. Perrault is an amazing multi-species lake. I've actually been to Manotak Lodge a few years ago. I did a show with Jeremy Smith from my office for one of our other series called Angling Edge. And we caught some giant walleyes, and we caught a couple of really big muskies too. This trip, we're going after walleyes for sure, because that's one of my favorite fish to go after, but we're also going to experience some of the other species that Manotak and Perrault has. We're going to go after some smallmouth bass, and if we've got time, we're going to target some big muskies and pike as well. But walleyes and smallmouth are definitely the key species on this trip. I hope you follow along. This is going to be a super fun trip. Came up on a new spot, just kind of going around the lake, trying to find a few spots and milk run, and boom, came up on a school of really nice walleyes. Look at that guy. Manotak Lake, Manotak Lodge on Perrault is well known for walleyes. You're talking about numbers, you're talking about size.
It really is. That is huge. That is a huge walleye.
Wow, look at the size of that thing. It's heavy.
We just got out here, like I said, and we're looking for a few spots. We're gonna go fishing with Jeremiah, one of the owners of Manotak, and this lake is well known for lots of walleyes and really big ones. So that's a good start for my day up here at Manotak Lodge in Sunset Country, Ontario. And there she goes. Stuck her hand on his head. It's like, oh, there's fish down there. Not a very big one, but it's a walleye. Of course, on the jigging wrap. This is one of the deadliest walleye baits ever designed.
Look at this beautiful fish. That is a tank.
Obviously, it was designed for winter fishing, but as many people know, probably one of the best open water walleye baits too.
There you go. Look at that. Just fish after fish after fish. It's just absolutely stunning. Look at that guy.
Sticky little hooks. Not a big one, but it's a walleye up here. They are absolutely stacked down. You can see, look at all these walleyes down here. Just a really nice break. It's almost like a saddle. It goes down on each side, down to like 35 feet, and comes up to, actually comes up to like 12 feet, but look at all those fish. They are just absolutely stacked. We just got to get the big ones to bite now. There's one. I got one. There's a nicer fish.
Need a net?
Yeah, for sure. Pitching. Pitching, pitching, pitching. Nice thing about jigging wraps, there's a lot of ways you can fish it. You can rip it, pitch it, vertically jig it, and it's always effective. In particular, up here in Ontario. Now, I just can't lose this one now. The hard part about fishing jigging wraps is you gotta be real careful. You gotta have the right gear because they've got really small hooks and they could pull out of the mouth pretty easy. So you gotta have the right rod. See the rod, the bend in that rod, what it's doing? It's allowing you not to hopefully pull hooks out of the mouth, especially because I'm using a braid, which is a line that doesn't stretch, obviously. And then I got a fluorocarbon. Ooh, nice fish. Nice fish. There we go. That's what we're talking about, boys. Yes! Jeremiah!
Good one there.
That's what we're talking about. That's why you come up.
One of those finally bit.
Hey, this is why you come up to Manotak Lodge right here, people. I am telling you, if you've never been to Ontario, you have got to get up here. Look at this thing. Look at this giant fish. That is awesome. Jigging wrap fishing, artificials. A lot of people think you need to use live bait. There's no question about it. Artificials, in many situations, outfishes live bait. And I think it really when you're targeting big fish. In my experience, I think a lot of times you're catching bigger fish because of it. Hey, we're gonna get a picture of this, get it back in, but hey, if you've never been to Manotak Lodge up here in Sunset Country, Ontario, you have to give the Swafford family a call. These people have it figured out. From service to the really nice boats. Obviously I brought my boat up here, but they've got really nice boats. The meals and the fishing on Perrault at Manotak. As you can see, is lights out for big fish. I can't wait. You know what? I'm coming back again because this is a place you want to get back to because the people are awesome that run this operation and the fishing is awesome too.
So here at Manotak Lodge, we've been here since 1945. We're the 7th owners, and we have 16 cabins. Some have kitchens, some don't, because we offer a variety of plans. We offer American Plan, which is all the meals, and then we offer Evening Meal Plan, which is just evening meal, and then Housekeeping Plan, where you do your own cooking. We also run a couple specials. We run a father-son special, which is the American Plan package, and then a family special, which is the housekeeping package. And in the fall, we do a buy one, get one half off special for the last 3 weeks of the season. So for American Plan, you will come in the lodge for breakfast. We do a breakfast bar followed by a hot plated meal. Things like French toast, pancakes, eggs your way. And then for lunch, you're either gonna pick a sack lunch, sandwich, cookie, chips, and shore lunch kit is the other option, and you would supply the fish and we supply everything else you need in that kit to do your shore lunch either out on shore, at your cabin, on our sun deck. And then dinner is a full plated meal. Start with soup, salad bar, and bread, and then you'll have your plated meal followed by dessert and non-alcoholic beverages.
Well, we have 20 boats that we rent out to customers. Some of them are Lunds, some of them are new G3s that we bought. They all have 50 Yamaha 4-stroke outboards on them. All the boats have floors, live wells, fish locators. And part of all of our plans, we give one boat to every two adults paying, and it includes 20 gallons of fuel. The only thing extra that it doesn't include is going to be your bait and your license. But we have full dock service. Once you come into the docks, we got somebody down there waiting with a bucket. We'll get your fish and we'll clean them for you, and we'll wrap them up for you to take them home, or we'll keep them down there if you want to do a shore lunch the next day. But that comes with all the plans. Yeah, so here on Peralt Lake, we've got pike and muskie.
This must be a pike or a muskie. Big muskie.
Oh, muskie, woo!
Big muskie, big muskie, big muskie.
We've got perch, we've got smallmouth.
Big, beautiful smallmouth.
Obviously walleye. In the spring, you can catch some whitefish. Occasionally, you can catch some crappies in the early spring in some of the smaller lakes that are adjacent to our big lake. So we've got a good population of everything. We do offer like a daily fly out if you want to go out and fly out to a lake and fish one day. Our friends down at Clark's will come and pick you up right at our docks in their airplanes and take you out for a day. And that's kind of cool. People like it because they get, you know, a flight, and a lot of people haven't flown in like float planes. So we have that. We've got places out on the lake for shore lunches, and we supply propane and cookers if you want to do that, or there's actually some wood out there. You guys can do your own fire and cook it that way. A lot of people like doing that. So as long as there's not a fire ban or anything like that. But yeah, it's a good multi-species lake.
She's still on it, she's still on it. Got her, got her. That was awesome.
We are unique in the area. Most places just offer cabins and dock service and that. We have an actual lodge. It was built in 1945, so it's very nostalgic, all original. It has a pool table, we have satellite TV, it's where we have our dining room plan. You can come in and pick a book off the shelf, read a book. We have a few games around. So just want to get out of your cabin and do something different, or if you have a big group, you can come in here and congregate as a group, but go back and have your individual cabins at night. It's just a really fun place to hang out. It's got a nice deck on the front. You can come in before dinner, have a couple drinks before supper. Just a great place to hang out with the family or your friends.
So the lake here is like 9,600 acres. It's not really rough to navigate at all, especially if you're a new person. We mark a lot of the hazards out there, but there's nothing out there on the lake that's gonna bite you right in the middle of the lake like some of the bigger lakes up here. We do have a map that we're gonna mark up for you, free of charge also. And then this lake is also charted, so if you have a fish locator and you wanna bring your own boat, you know, you can get a chip for that as well. But it's a lake for all kind of people and fishermen. You know, you can be a novice person and go out and you can catch fish. You can catch perch real easy, walleyes. And you know, if you're wanting to get into something a little crazy, you can go chase muskies, which that takes a little more effort. Although some people, you know, stumble into a muskie because it eats their smaller fish that they're catching. So that's kind of cool as well. So, but it's not a hard lake to fish, and there's always a good place to fish, even when the wind's crazy, from all directions. It's a good place to go.
Tell you what, when you want to come somewhere and catch big walleyes, I know a spot.
Awesome.
Peralt's just definitely got some big fish in it. You always know when you come up here, if you don't catch a big fish up here, it's pretty rare, at least one. Like I'm talking that 26 is a big fish, to even 30 and 31s, you catch those up here. And Jeremy Smith from my office actually got a 32 out of this lake, and it's just well known. Peralt's well known for big walleyes. We'll take a few of those all day, Jeremiah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool, you want to get a couple quick pictures? There you go.
A little.
Well, we need the ones for the box too.
It might eat. Oh yeah, I think it'll eat.
You need that or you good?
No, I'm good.
Oh, heck yeah. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
eater size right there.
That's what we needed.
Shore lunch.
Oh yeah.
Gotta plug it all to this side. We found a school of them, Jeremiah. Switched it up a little bit. Went from just so many techniques that work. A jig and wrap, jig and a minnow. It's another box fish for our shore lunch. Oh, not so much. You know what? I'll take 13 or 14, 15 inches eating lunch all day long.
I think they taste better than the 17s.
Not even a question. They crisp up really nice. We'll eat that. There. Found them.
Little.
Middle. There was definitely a pack of them right there though.
Might eat though.
Jeremiah catches one. I catch one. Not big, but
That's a lunch fish. I've thrown back 17s to put those in the box before.
one for the box.
Oh
though.
yeah, eater. Small eater, but
Yeah, it tastes delicious. I was just gonna say, I just went over a pack of them.
here.
Oh, you threw on a minnow. High calm days in the summer. It doesn't really matter in Canada most days. Walleyes are still biting. As you can see, this one took a swipe at it and missed it. This thing about jigging wraps, they'll still catch them most days too. Again, if you're gonna eat walleyes, that's gonna be a perfect one. We're gonna have a shore lunch today. So when you come up to Manotak, and Manotak I think is a little bit original in the sense that they will clean your fish for you when you bring in a number of fish. So whether you're going to bring them home or you're going to a shore lunch, they have a service where they'll clean your fish, which is pretty nice. Don't have to bring your knife, don't have to bring any of that stuff. They'll cut them up for you, they'll package them, and if you're going to take them home, they'll label them for you too. So that's a cool service here at Manotak. But you know what? This one's going to get eaten today. We're going to have a nice little shore lunch. We're going to take off here right now and go get set up, eat some fish. You know, whenever I come to Canada, to me personally, and I think a lot of people that come up here on vacation, whether it be fishing or whatever it is, hunting, it doesn't matter. Shore lunch is synonymous with Canadian fishing, hunting, all across Canada. So whenever I get up here, I have to have a shore lunch. It is flat out the best tasting. I don't know what it is about eating fish on a rock with a bunch of friends and coworkers. But if you have never done it before, get up to Canada, get up to Sunset Country, come up to Manotak Lodge. They have some of the best shore lunches here. You gotta try it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. No. Probably snagged it, but. However you can catch them, I guess, right? Oh no, it's hooked perfect. Look at that guy. There. Nice. Manotak Lodge walleye. We're gonna eat a few of these, right?
Yeah,
Eat this one?
Yeah, I get that one, maybe one or two more.
Eat a couple today for shore lunch. Nice. I'm gonna throw that in the live well, and let me show you some of the gear that we're using on this trip to catch these walleyes. So when we're out here fishing for walleyes, and really any species up here in Canada, we typically have a number of baits all rigged up on rods. So some of the baits that we're using this week to catch these walleyes up here on Manotak in that August time frame, you know, jig and wraps have long become one of the best walleye catchers out there, and it's my favorite walleye bait of all time. So we use jig and wraps a lot this time of year when you're talking about that. I would say that July through even September, October, when the fish are going deep, the water warms up, jig and wraps are extremely effective. Obviously, when you're talking about coming up to Canada, jigs are probably a bait that catches more walleyes up here in Canada than any other bait, maybe combined. And what we like to use on the back of these are soft plastics like this Big Bite Sensation split tail. You know, Big Bite's got a paddle tail in that 3.5 inch range too, just like this one, only with the paddle tail, are extremely effective. Another bait that we like to use up here is another jig, and it's the hair jig. Hair jigs are an amazing bait. I don't care if you're talking about spring, fall, or winter even. I've caught them through the ice with hair jigs as well, but this is a bait that is effective in the weeds, rocks, shallow, deep, everything in between. Hair jigs flat out catch walleyes all season long. Now some of the rods that we combine these with, when you're talking about a jig and wrap, I love this Trika's new 7'6" medium power fast action. It is the perfect rod setup. It is extremely light, it is extremely sensitive, and I love the ergonomically designed handle for the way I jig wrap fish. I've got my hand far forward of the reel. It's comfortable, I don't get any fatigue. Now that medium power backbone is what you need when you're ripping those jig and wraps. And then when you're talking about the fast action, you can see how far back that rod bends into the blank. And the reason that's important is because I love using braid when I'm talking about jig and wrap fishing. You know, a lot of people like a mono. I like to control the bait with a braid, so I use that 8 to 10 pound Suffix 832, and I combine that with a barrel swivel so you don't get any line twists. I use that 17 pound fluorocarbon, and the reason I'm using a heavier fluorocarbon is we're talking about fishing around a lot of rocks and a lot of pike, so that heavier fluorocarbon will alleviate a lot of these expensive jig and wraps being lost. So that is the perfect rod that I love using for jig and wraps. They're talking about jigs. It's not much different when it comes to the power and action. I'm using again, a medium power fast action. When you're talking about this midsummer bite, when you're fishing deeper water, I'm using that typically 3/8 ounce jig, again, using soft plastics. You can use minnows. A lot of people use minnows. They're very effective. I don't care where you go. Again, I'm using a braid when it comes to these jigs in deep water. That same 8 to 10 pound 832 braid. Same thing, barrel swivel to eliminate line twists, and anywhere from 10 to 17 pound fluorocarbon, because again, depending on the time of year, you might be fishing around rocks or a lot of pike. When it comes to the hair jigs, the rod that I love using is the medium light power fast action. This rod was built for hair jigs. It is an amazing rod. It's light, it's sensitive, it controls a hair jig in shallow to deep water. Again, anything between rocks and grass or weeds, it doesn't really matter. This rod is perfect for that. Now when you're talking about reels, I love, again, that midsummer time frame that we're in right now. I love using a larger arbor in that 2,000 or 2,500 size. And the reason being is, number one, you're fishing deeper. Number two, you're using reactionary baits, and you want that longer rod, and you want the bigger arbor for line pickup, so you're able to get that quick hook set, get those hooks into the fish's mouth and not lose any fish. And they're a deadly bait, but they've got small hooks. Oh yeah, really nice, really nice, really nice, really nice fish. Yes, yes, yes. Get that sucker, baby, yeah! Do.
That's a good one there.
That's a good one. Let's leave her in the water. Yeah. What did I tell you? You fish Manotak, you're gonna catch big walleyes, baby. Wow, what a dandy fish, man.
This is summer number 10 for us, and this is the first time I've ever fished this point on the lake. We just figured we'll just pull in there and try it. It's always looked good. and it's good.
It's good.
It goes. It's on the fish all the time spot list now.
I think it's going to be on your list. So I mean, there's just so many spots out here. We got islands, there's points, there's rocks, there's weeds, and typically all season long there's walleyes everywhere. So when you've got a guy that's been a part owner of a lodge, you're how many years?
It's year 10 for us.
Year 10, and this is a new spot for him. Well, guess what? This lake has some really big walleyes. I'm going to show you. Just hold on 1 second. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Look at that guy. Look at that gal. There's nothing wrong with that. Tank fish in Manotak. Tell you what, August, people forget that August is an amazing time to come up to Ontario and catch really big walleyes. Well, here's proof in the pudding. We've caught, I guarantee we're probably going to catch a few more, but this is one of many that we've caught this week. And like I said, we're going to be here for a few more days and catch, I bet you, a few more. But don't forget about August when you're coming up and you're planning a trip. I know May, June, July are really good fishing times, but you know what? August can be some of the best fishing too.